What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. Since we want to talk about The Last of Us Part 2 Sony State of Play. So this is going on tomorrow. This is going to be their State of Play tomorrow, kind of in the same vein as the Ghost of Tsushima one. And I want to talk about the kind of details of this, okay? Is this the right call? What should we expect for this? There's a lot. There's honestly a lot to talk about. One thing I do want to make blatantly clear is please, I truly do ask this just in a nice way, please don't post spoilers. I get it. I understand. The leaks are out. A lot of people have seen them. A lot of people hate them. And I have nothing. Again, as I've always said, I do think that's important to say in pretty much any Last of Us Part 2 video now because of this weird world we're in. I understand the leaks. I understand people's hate for them. I completely get it. If you don't like this game or you're not getting this game because of leaks, more power to you. I truly do understand. And I have nothing against you. And at the same, on the opposite side of the coin, if you guys are still excited, if you guys haven't seen the leaks, I get it. I'm getting the game day one too, so I completely get both sides. But in terms of spoilers, that's just a channel thing. It's like a channel policy I do, okay? Don't post spoilers for The Last of Us Part 2 in these comments, please. There's going to be plenty of videos that I'm going to do on this channel talking about The Last of Us Part 2 in spoiler form, and we can talk about it there, okay? So, the State of Play. This is weird. This is very weird. I posted that on Twitter, and even in Discord, you guys were talking about it as well, which, by the way, if you guys want to join Discord, join Twitter, those are in the description below if you guys want to join that. But people were saying on Discord, I completely agree, why are they doing this? Why exactly are you having a State of Play for The Last of Us Part 2? And okay, I mean, there's a lot of different answers to that, but more importantly, the biggest thing is, you did Ghost of Tsushima first. Ghost of Tsushima was like a week and a half ago that you did that, and that game comes after The Last of Us Part 2. It's like, all right, the way they've been handling these leaks, by the way, are not good, right? They've gone into hiding, while at the same time not. They're doing two things at the same time, right? They're having their like developer diary, which, by the way, again, like if the leaks weren't out there, it would be awesome. The developer diary, I think, would be really cool. But what you have now is it's kind of like they're trying to save themselves, or at least that's coming off to a lot of people that way. And then you disable comments, and you disable likes, and you disable dislikes, and you have it the new Twitter feature where people can't post on your Twitter post, right? All these things. And again, I think they're just bad. I mean, my personal opinion on that is it's bad look after bad look after bad look. And now we get the State of Play, which, all right, here's what I think is going on. Again, we've talked about this on Discord and on Twitter. I think they're doing it to try and save themselves in some way because it doesn't seem like, again, like why? Obviously, these State of Plays don't come together in like one day. Like they didn't plan on doing this yesterday, but you got to imagine they maybe started putting something like this together after the leaks, right? I really feel like it had to have been after the leaks, and maybe they didn't plan on doing something like this before that, right? And again, why do Ghost first when Ghost is the second game? Because ultimately what you're going to do here, and this is what's probably going to upset especially the people that are against The Last of Us Part 2, I think the State of Play is actually going to be really good. Why? Because they're going to talk about gameplay. They're going to show gameplay. They're going to show, 8 minutes of never-before-seen gameplay. The game, look, again, I understand if you guys have seen the leaks, if you haven't, if you agree with, if you like them, if you don't, whatever, wherever you stand, okay? But you got to give them credit where credit's due, no matter where you stand, that these games, gameplay, like how they handle, are like masterpieces. If you don't think that, then you probably never liked the game to begin with. I think that's, if you didn't like how The Last of Us played, and you didn't like the gameplay mechanics and all that kind of stuff, you probably aren't a fan of The Last of Us, and so you're just hating to hate, which I guess I get, and people do that, but, I'm replaying Uncharted 4 right now, and I mean, that game, I've always said it's my favorite game of all time, my favorite Uncharted. It's a masterpiece. And one of the smaller things that I didn't even remember about that game is the attention to small details, the gunplay, moving around, going around in like a stealthy manner, the lighting, the sound, all that stuff. It's incredible. It truly is. Literally every single gunfight, the bullets are like whizzing past like the grass, and you see the grass moving, and everybody's moving so dynamically. And that was in 2016. Okay, that was May of 2016. We're now 4 years later, and it's The Last of Us. So why am I saying all this? Well, The Last of Us Part 2 is going to be separating it from the story. I'm going to almost guarantee that the game is going to operate, how you play it, the gameplay mechanics. It's going to be a masterpiece. I truly do believe that, because the fundamental gameplay of the first Last of Us was insanely good. Now, I've always preferred Uncharted just because of the more fluidness and I don't know, more like the action adventure kind of feel. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just generally how and I've always liked Uncharted more. I mean, The Last of Us, that game is such a masterpiece, but Uncharted, it's my favorite franchise. So, people are going to have different opinions for sure. I understand that. But The Last of Us's gameplay was very good. The crafting was very good. All the different environments that you got to experience and the different ways of handling your enemies and crafting and all this kind of stuff. It was insanely good. So the second game is going to be insanely good. Really, the only thing they could have messed up in The Last of Us Part 2 is the story, is how they handle that. And again, you could argue that they did mess that up, or they didn't. Okay, and I'm not going to tell you what to think, because I'm sure all of you guys have decided already, which is great. Honestly, it's great. But so I understand that. Like, the state of play is going to be really good because they're going to focus on the gameplay. So I think, as a whole, people are probably going to like it. Now, with that being said, there is going to be the group that says just, they're going to want to post spoilers, they're going to want to do this. The bad thing for Naughty Dog, again, the bad look that it's giving them is this. It is just a bad look, right? There's no way, there is 0% chance that chat is enabled. The chat is 1,000% going to not be active. There's no way they let people into the chat of that live stream. Remember Ghost of Tsushima? There was the chat. Now, actually, not a lot of the chat really liked the Ghost of Tsushima thing. It's more of the people that are more invested. I feel like people do just come to those things to hate on them, but there was plenty of, disliking the Ghost of Tsushima thing, and that was Ghost of Tsushima. What's Ghost of Tsushima done to hurt your life, right? Imagine The Last of Us. So again, I get the leaks, but at the same time, and as I said a few videos ago of The Last of Us Part 2, remember when we talked about them disabling the stuff, it goes back to that same philosophy of where do you stand on that. For this, again, I get it, because you're going to have a state of play, you're going to have a live chat, it only takes one person to post blank, whatever, the blank, all these spoilers that we know, people are going to post it, it only takes one, and let me tell you, it's not going to be just one person posting it, it's going to be 1,000. Now, yes, there's also going to be a lot of hate there, a lot of criticism, and you know what, the criticism and the hate and stuff like that, that's fine, anybody gets that at any time. So ultimately, you can't really, or you shouldn't, I say, censor that. You shouldn't actively disable those kind of things. But the leak stuff, that hurts. That hurts you. That hurts the other people. Because, this is surprising, I'm sure, to some people. But there are people that are watching the state of play that don't know the leaks, that maybe aren't on the internet all that much, that haven't seen the spoilers. And it'll ruin it for them. So, again, no matter where you stand on it, some people don't want to be spoiled. That's just how it is, and people have to get that through in their head, and some people don't, and it really does suck. And again, I try to be literally as in the middle on this as I can, because I truly, from my heart, understand both sides to this. I think I'm one of the only ones that do on the internet. I think I can see through the BS of the internet and still manage to remain in the middle, because I understand where all of you guys are coming from. And at the same time, though, the state of play is cool. It's something very unexpected. It's not something I expected them to do for The Last of Us. Again, the game releases in 3 weeks, so this is very, very odd that they would do this. Very odd they would do it after Ghost of Tsushima, and then again, it's fine and it's gameplay, but Neil Druckmann's going to be in it. And we know how people feel about him nowadays, right? So, we have that. And then you have, again, there's no way they have chat. There's no way they have likes, dislikes. There's no way they have comments on that state of play afterwards. And isn't that a little bit weird? Because it literally is a PlayStation, state of play. And all of them you could have done the chats. All of them you can leave your likes. All of them you can leave your comments, right? Dating back to the very beginning. And now I guarantee you this will be the first one that doesn't have those things. And why? It's because of Last of Us Part 2. So again, for this situation, I actually do get why they would disable chat. I do get why they would disable comments. But, again, likes, dislikes, that's tough. And then also, that's not going to come off good. I get why they're doing it. And I think, honestly, even if you hate them, if you hate Naughty Dog's guts, if you hate Neil Druckmann, if you hate what they did to your game, or to The Last of Us Part 2, I do think, if you think about it, you would understand why they would disable those kind of things for a situation like this, right? Because there are people out there that will ruin it. But At the same time, it's just a bad look. It's just going to be showing censorship more, and now you get PlayStation involved, which, again, Sony's they're not like an innocent party of this, because we've seen some of the copyright strikes they've done different people, but now you're getting PlayStation involved with the state of play. Now that's being impacted because you have to disable certain things there. It's tough. It's a real, we talked about this, right? No matter what they do, they are in the toughest spot. No matter where you fall on the Naughty Dog spectrum, they're in a tough spot no matter what. And again, this is kind of like putting themselves out there again to get hit when they really didn't need to. I really think, I don't know. Should they have done this state of, I'll honestly answer, I don't think they should have done the state of play. To be honest with you, like I'm probably going to watch it. I'm probably going to see the gameplay, and I'll probably like everything I see, okay, gameplay-wise. But didn't we all kind of expect that to be, even the people I've talked to that don't like the leaks of The Last of Us, they still admit that, like, oh yeah, I'm sure the gameplay is going to be phenomenal. In fact, that'll probably still be one of the main reasons people get it, is because the game is just going to run and perform and all that stuff. It's going to be incredible. And then multiplayer, added afterwards and all that stuff like that. It'll be really fun, and people will get it and play it for that. I certainly will, right? So, like, there are all these different opinions on it, but again, this is just going back out. And do people need to see this gameplay? That's a big question, I think. Do people actually need to see the gameplay, more gameplay of this game? I think if you're, at this point, if you're going to get the game, you're going to get it. Now, is this Naughty Dog's way of saving themselves? That's another thing. Just to really quickly wrap this up, would they be doing this to save themselves? Do they see the pre-orders? Do they see people canceling this game? Does Sony see it and say, man, we're in trouble? People are dropping. I mean, the game's still going to sell, by the way, a lot of millions of copies, okay? It's going to sell well, but maybe it won't sell as well. And so is this kind of a last-ditch effort to say, all right, we see all these people giving up their pre-orders, people are hating on us, people are leaving, all this stuff. We need to get them back. We're not going to do it by talking about the story. We're not going to do it by focusing on the characters. How else what else do we got? Oh, well, we do have gameplay, and we know the gameplay is going to be actually insanely good. And really, really good. So maybe we could show that. And you know what? It may actually work. It could actually get people to say, well, you know what? I hated the story. I don't like what they're doing with it. But you know what? The gameplay, I mean, it looks phenomenal. Like, there's no arguing it. The gameplay is phenomenal, so I have to get it. Maybe that's what they're looking to do. Maybe it works. I think it will work with some people. Obviously, again, if you've made your decision, you've made it. I don't really know what they can do to change it at this point for the better or for the worst, right? I think you're kind of engraved in where you're going to be. I don't really think they can do much, but I don't know. This is not what I expected from Monday. Obviously, you guys are seeing this Tuesday morning. Not what I expected whatsoever, but it's where we're at. So, guys, let me know. Loads of questions. Are you going to watch State of Play? Why do you think it's happening? Do you agree if they do or don't allow chat? All that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I truly, truly appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.